Don Rosenberg knows what it's like to be separated from a child involuntarily. His son was killed by an unlicensed illegal immigrant driver. Don Rosenberg joins us tonight. Don, thank you for coming on. I should say, just for context, because I don't think this is a political issue or needs to be one, I don't think you're a Republican or any kind of conservative, so I don't think you necessarily have a political axe to grind, but looking today at the response in the media to our immigration policy, what's your reaction?
Well, I've been furious about the Democratic response to illegal immigration ever since this happened to my son. They refuse to talk to me. They refuse to talk to anybody. They never acknowledge. I mean, I've never heard one Democrat in the last 7.5 years since I've been doing this acknowledge any crime directly, except when they're sitting in a congressional hearing and it's their constituents who's been killed. And as soon as they walk out the door, they forget about it. It's reprehensible the way they deal with this issue.
So why the concern? I mean, look, I think all children are equally valuable in the eyes of God, for sure. Politicians are elected to represent their people, their citizens. Why do you think they seem more interested in the children of foreign nationals than American children?
Votes and money. Very simple. That's it. They don't care about them either. Out here in California, you know, we've got the sanctuary state, and Kevin De Leon is happy when people that have, you know, quote unquote, haven't committed a crime are deported, because it gives them all something to scream and yell about. It's just the whole thing is so backwards, it's hard to believe. But the problem is that much of the news media fails to report the truth. I mean, it wasn't until today, until they started talking about Flores. All they kept saying is, oh, well, they can be together, you can let them go. And obviously that's not possible without, as Director Homan said, you got to let them all go, and then they never show up.
Well, exactly. Don, thank you for joining us and for your perspective. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Congressman Vicente Gonzalez is a Democrat representing Texas. He recently toured a border detention facility. He joins us tonight. Congressman, thank you for coming on. You've got a lot of citizens, American citizens, in your district who've been separated involuntarily from their children. One of them is named Alicia Delgado. She was convicted of manslaughter. She says she was defending her son in self-defense. She's in prison. She's from your district. She's one of your constituents. I don't think she's married. Her son is very young. He has no family. Have you visited him?
Well, I have not even heard of him, okay? So otherwise I would try to reach out to every child. But this is not, we're talking about a crisis that's happening on the border of hundreds and thousands of kids that are showing up to a border. It's not about just our constituents who get in trouble, who get separated. Most of the folks who are coming across have no prior criminal history. They're coming here because of failed American policy, which actually I'm shocked that we're not talking about how we got here. We're talking about the children at the border.
I'm a little concerned. I'm sorry. You may need to speak a little more slowly. Tell me once again why the concerns of foreign nationals are more important than those of your own constituents. Because we have over 1 million
I'm concerned about
people
my
behind bars in the United States who've been separated from their kids.
I'm concerned about every child who needs help, and my constituents particularly. But we're talking
so
about
how many children? But hold on, how many children have you visited? American citizen children separated from their parents by incarceration. American citizens in your district.
Because I was a lawyer, so I absolutely.
No, but this year, how many of you, as a congressman, how many have you visited?
That have parents that are in jail?
Yeah, the children. So you highlighted the plight of the children who have been separated. A lot of your constituent citizens have been separated involuntarily from their kids. They're behind bars. I don't think you visited any this year, have you?
I'm talking about children who got here with parents that are not criminals that are being separated. And regardless of political beliefs or immigration policy leaning, regardless of where you are on immigration policy, I think we should all agree that children are sacred and we should take care of them regardless where they come from.
Well, I
and
agree.
When we're talking about the border policy, we should be talking about what got us here, which is failed American policy in 3 Central American countries that I think we should be engaging. And we're talking about the symptom and the result now. We should be engaging those countries and figuring out how we could boost their economy and incentivize them to stay home. So we don't have to continue to put Band-Aids on the issue the way we're doing today.
I wouldn't blame the United States for people trying to sneak in illegally.
I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to talk to you about parents that are in jail, but we're talking about kids that are crossing the border with parents, that's a separate conversation.
Hold on, but
I'd be happy to engage both of them.
No. It's the same conversation. It's been going on for hundreds of years. Americans held for
Kids who are
crimes are
incarcerated
separated
usually
from their minor children.
Right.
And not always when they're convicted. If people are awaiting
90% of the
trial.
time.
And I don't think that you've spent a lot of time worrying about that. And I'm just wondering why, since your job
Yes,
is
I have.
to represent America.
These people
what have you done about
are usually placed. These people are the kids that you're talking about are placed with family members or foster homes. We don't have the same situation. They're not put in cages in warehouses. That's not the way American children are being treated with parents that have committed criminal activity. We're talking about
so let me ask you the
refugees. We're talking about people who are
solution.
showing up to the border. You want to know the solution to the Central American refugee problem?
I mean, but let me ask you specifically what we should do with someone who's coming into this country for the second or third time, and that's a felony, as you know. It's not a misdemeanor; it's a felony, and has a minor child in tow.
That's a different issue.
Person be given
That's a separate issue.
No,
that's a separate issue, and my answer is no.
News story.
My answer is no to that. But children who are coming here for the first time with parents with no prior criminal history, who are being separated for the sole purpose of punishing the parent and deterring others from coming, I think is abusive to children, regardless of what your political
what should we do?
Beliefs on immigration policy
I'm not making a political case.
We should find a humane way.
Or what?
No, we should find a humane way to treat them, to keep them as family units, have them attend their hearings, and if we're going to deport them together as a family unit, not separate them. Right now we have parents we have toddlers and babies being ripped from moms and dads who just across the border, and they're getting held in a jail cell.
Well, you have that happening in your district, too, with people arrested for DUI, but you don't seem that concerned about it. At all.
How can we agree with children being sent thousands of miles away?
To Americans. Right.
Absolutely,
why don't you take care of your own people first, and then we can worry about this. Yeah, you don't.
We actually do.
You're right, Congressman. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate.